Hi everyone, I'm Tang Ye, a student of University Malaysia Sabah. I'd like to present to you of our study on ethnic minority education's influence on e-language use of e-people in Xichang city. I will introduce our study from the following 5 aspects. China is a multicultural country with 56 ethnic groups, among which there were 55 ethnic minorities, such as the Mongolian, Tibetan, Mandarin, and the Yi. Among 24 of them had unique ethnic minority languages, totaling more than 120 languages. Why is the total number of the language greater than the total number of the ethnic minorities? This is because some ethnic minorities use more than one language, and some even has more than 2 languages. All ethnic groups enjoy equal rights in politics, economy, culture, education, and other aspects in China. The Yi people are mainly distributed in Yunnan, Sichuan, Guizhou province in China. Liangshan Yi Atmosphere Prefecture in Sichuan province is the largest Yi settlement area, and the Xichang city is the capital city of Liangshan. Yi people have their own language, which is an important means of communication for Yi people, and it is an important carrier of their cultural heritage. Now, Yi ethnic has only one standard language, called Yi language, including 813 standard characters. In Liangshan, Yi language is used not only in official contexts, but also in public spaces, as we can see in picture 2. It reflects its social relevance. Education in minority languages, such as Yi language, plays a crucial role in preserving languages for future generations. UNESCO estimated that a language disappears every fortnight globally. As the picture shows, Asia has 693 threatened or endangered languages. It is at a high level. We know that UNESCO celebrated International Mother Language Day from 2 years ago. It's just because that thousands of languages around the world are currently in danger of dying out. The Yi language has been impacted by the modernization process. The number of users has gradually decreased, and it's facing an endangered situation. For the background of the study, we will introduce it from the 3 aspects. Minority language speakers at present, 90% of China's minority speaks 12 languages. These speakers account for about 94% of the non-minority languages population, and the number of the Yi speakers is decreasing, and the frequency of Yi language use is also declining. As for the language education, Yi language used to be a vibrant language, but now it's lost its vigor. The Chinese language education is increasingly important, and the young Yi people, in particular, show enthusiasm from learning Chinese because they recognize that Chinese Putonghua is a key skill for future employment opportunities. We know that language policy in China is that the government promotes standardized Chinese and protect dialects and minority languages at the same time, and the government says that the ethnic minorities have right to use and develop their own languages, and the government also promotes learning of Chinese Putonghua. There is a gap between language policy and the language practice. As for the Yi education, in Chinese education in Liangshan, there are two teaching models. Teaching model 1 is the same as the teaching model of SJK in Malaysia, and the teaching model 2 is the same as the teaching model of SK in Malaysia. Well, there has been significant process, such as the implementation of e-Chinese bilingual education model, and we will find that the e-language use is growing concern. Surveys show that the e-language is gradually endangered. The tension between mastering mainstream Chinese culture and preserving minority language is a significant issue, as the loss of language can lead to the erosion of culture and identity. Minority language policy has not achieved the desired effect, and the language management has been a central activity of government. As for the problem statement, there are two different kinds of gaps. As for practical gaps, the application of language keeps layering down, and in bilingual education, the instruction language means Chinese, and the e-language is just taught as a single subject. And we found that most of the books are published in Chinese, and just a little of the books or the teaching materials are published in minority languages. As for the theoretical gaps, the government used the policy that learning Putonghua in preschool in 2018. It aimed to ensure minority school ages 3 to 6 develop basic Putonghua and communication skills before starting compulsory education. The government has mandated the promotion of bilingual education, but the number of e-language learners has declined. In school education, the e-language education is often marginalized, resulting in the gradual decline in students' mastery of e-language. So, Duan Liping and Li found that bilingual teaching is a requirement of minority development, and Riharmo and Hari found that failure of bilingual education adapt to the changing linguistic situation with insufficient teaching training and outdated textbooks. And Zhang Lubi and Linda Song also found that schools favors the language of instruction at the expense of bilingualism, but it fails to meet the wishes of the students. In cities with a high concentration of ethnic minorities, but the Chinese language is emphasized in bilingual education, and the current policy adjustment lag behind the actual needs. Some students lack a sense of identity and self-confidence in their own national culture, resulting in no enthusiasm for learning and using the e-language. As for the research method, in this study, we use qualitative research method, and we will get the samples by stratified random sampling method and purposive sampling method. After that, we collect our data by offline interview, and then we analyze the data by coding and semantic analysis through in vivo. In the end, we will get the conclusions, and I will introduce the conclusions of the study from the following three aspects. As for the divisions in minority education, first, education in ethnic minority areas. Schools often emphasize on Chinese language teaching, leading to the gradual marginalization of ethnic minority languages. Second, the curriculum of minority language is insufficient, lack of semesterless and continuity, and is unable to meet the needs of the students. Third, there is a lack of teaching materials and resources suitably for minority students, which will affect the quality and effectiveness of teaching. As for the actual effect of bilingual education, we would like to say that the education model helps improve students' ability in Chinese and e-languages, and also enhance their cross-cultural communication skills. Second, if we can strictly implement bilingual education, it can also enable the e-people to better understanding and inherit their own culture and history, and at the same time, it can enhance their national identity. However, the current local minority education model still has some problems, such as insufficient teachers, outdated teaching methods, outdated materials, and the lack of foundations. And the schools have to improve students' ability to use their own ethnic language. So, we would like to give some suggestions on protecting of e-language and improve the effect of minority education. First, education policies need to be constantly adjusted and improved to meet the needs of the inheritance and development of e-language. Actively promote bilingual education model, combine Chinese and e-language to promote the common development of the two languages at the same time. Strengthen the research and the protection of the e-language. We call for organize and publish more relevant teaching materials and give them more training opportunities to get better understanding of minority education. That's all of our presentation. Thank you for listening and hope you have a nice day.